My name is Shannon Baxter. I'm 32, the middle child of the Baxter film dynasty, the one nobody ever remembers. Growing up in the shadow of our Hollywood legacy, I learned early that being invisible was a survival skill. Last night, I walked into our Los Angeles mansion for what was supposed to be a normal family dinner, but anyone who knows the Baxters knows that normal doesn't exist here. The tension was thick. Almost visible, my sister smirking, my parents exchanging those quiet, knowing glances. They didn't notice me yet, and that's when it happened. Mom slammed her hand on the table and shouted, "You useless fool, it's all your sisters." My sister clapped her hands, laughing cruelly. "Get out of here." Everyone expected me to shrink back, to apologize, to play the part they've cast me in my whole life. But I didn't. I leaned forward, slammed the sales contract on the table, and watched the room go silent. Their smug little world cracked in an instant. Kneeling, pleading, my parents begged, "Please don't." I just shook my head. Do you have to beg a fool? That moment, it wasn't just victory. It was years of being dismissed, ignored, and underestimated, all exploding at once. Their empire of arrogance, built on the idea that I was nothing, crumbled in front of them with just one move. If you've ever been written off by your own family, left out, or underestimated, drop a comment below. Watch closely. Because this is how betrayal turns into the ultimate reversal, and how I left the people who doubted me completely reeling. The roots of that family tension traced back to my childhood in Los Angeles. My grandfather, Howard Baxter, kicked off Baxter Studios in his garage during the 1980s with a second-hand camera and a groundbreaking idea for independent films. He grew it into a regional force before handing it over to my father, Raymond Baxter, in the 1990s. Under Dad's direction, the company surged from a $10 million family venture to a $50 million powerhouse with over 200 employees and partnerships throughout Hollywood. Family events, dinners, premieres, backyard screenings always circled back to his achievements. The Baxter name stood for indie film excellence in LA, and he ensured we all knew it, particularly his children. There were 3 of us. My older sister, Carla Baxter, 38, was the favored one despite lacking any real talent for production. She studied communications, spent college at parties. Yet Dad gave her a vice president role right after graduation. Carla wasted more time on celebrity events and her social circle than at the office, but somehow remained his choice for heir. Then, me, Shannon, stuck in the middle at 32. Unlike my siblings, I inherited grandfather's love for filmmaking. I learned scripting at 12 and directed my first short at 15. I majored in film production and business at UCLA, graduated with honors, and had fresh concepts to update our studio lineup. But Dad always overlooked me in strategy talks, as if I didn't exist. My younger brother, Travis Baxter, 29, completed the group. He used our family name to become a film influencer with thousands of followers adoring his polished takes on Hollywood life. He showed no interest in studio operations or creative work, yet never skipped posting about being a Baxter heir without adding value. My mother, Vivian Baxter, came from old Hollywood money and handled conflicts like typical Beverly Hills wives by pretending they didn't happen and grabbing another cocktail. She acted as mediator but really enabled Dad's biases, especially his disregard for my ideas. Raymond perhaps listened to Shannon's pitch. She'd suggest occasionally over meals, only to retreat when he gave her that glare. "Vivian, this is serious business." He'd reply before shifting to Carla for chats about galas or networking, anything but actual film strategy. Family meetings revolved around production discussions that shut me out. Dad and Carla dominated with industry terms and private jokes while I sat quiet, knowing the market and trends better than them. If I interjected, Dad would patronize me with a smile. "That's cute, Shannon, but leave the real decisions to those who get it." Mom reinforced this dynamic, often siding with Carla in subtle ways that stung. The household staff, like our longtime housekeeper Maria, offered more kindness than my own relatives. She knew the undercurrents, having seen years of favoritism play out. This pattern built resentment over time. Carla flaunted her position. Travis coasted on fame, and I poured my energy into ideas that went unheard. The breaking point came when I was 22. Fresh out of UCLA with honors, I had developed a digital production system that could transform our studio's outdated methods ahead of competitors. I spent weeks on a detailed pitch market research, tech specs, budget projections. Dad agreed to let me present at a board meeting as a formality. I walked into the sleek conference room at Baxter Studios, laptop ready, nerves mixing with excitement, the board mostly older men. Dad's industry buddies sat with crossed arms as I hooked up the projector. 10 minutes in, Mom interrupted with a sharp sigh. She raised her hand mid-sentence. "That's enough," she said, her tone dripping disdain. "Shannon, this is imaginative, but utterly impractical for a professional operation like ours. Clients demand reliability, not these experimental gadgets." She glanced at the board with an apologetic shrug. "My daughter just finished school and has all these theoretical notions. Let's get back to real strategy." The embarrassment hit hard as I gathered my materials amid their chuckles, like I was a joke. That evening, I chose to break free. I would leave Los Angeles and the family studio behind, create something undeniable. With $5,000 saved, I moved to New York, where indie film scenes thrived without Hollywood's shadow. My parents saw it as a phase. They laughed it off during calls. "She'll return broke." I overheard Mom telling Dad. Those initial years tested everything. My cramped apartment in Brooklyn drained most of my budget. I ate cheap takeout, worked 80-hour weeks first as a production assistant on low-budget sets, then freelancing edits for startups. Every spare cent fueled my own venture. I founded Apex Productions under the alias S. Blake, the initials from Shannon Lynn, but no one connected it to Baxter. I wanted pure merit. Detached from the family name, starting small. I produced short films for festivals, reinvesting profits. By year 3, I had a small team and an office in Soho. The game changer was my proprietary digital platform linking old analog gear with streaming tech, echoing what I'd pitched back home. Investors approached, but I kept control, refusing to dilute ownership. Over the next 7 years, I acquired niche production firms to expand services. Apex grew to a $150 million valuation with branches in 2 cities. In the film world, S. Blake became a mysterious powerhouse who avoided spotlights and interviews when public events demanded it. I altered my look slightly and let my COO handle most interactions. My family stayed clueless about my rise, on rare calls or visits. I kept details vague, things are steady, or still grinding. It fit their view of me as irrelevant, which worked perfectly as I plotted. What they missed for the past year. I'd quietly bought shares in key vendors and partners of Baxter Studios. I analyzed their reports, spotted vulnerabilities, and positioned Apex as the ideal acquirer to modernize them. 6 months ago, my CFO sent an anonymous buyout offer through intermediaries which Dad rejected outright. Now, 10 years after that boardroom dismissal, I headed back to Los Angeles with a strategy set to stun. That groundwork paved the way for the confrontation ahead. With Apex Productions established, I focused on scaling without drawing attention. The platform I built attracted major deals, leading to acquisitions of complementary firms in editing and distribution. By that point, the company spanned offices in New York and Chicago, employing 50 people. Venture offers poured in, but I retained majority stake to steer the direction. In industry circles, S. Blake gained a reputation as an elusive innovator who prioritized results over publicity. I limited appearances, using makeup changes or proxies when necessary. My family remained oblivious. During sporadic phone conversations, I'd downplay progress, just managing some projects or keeping busy. Dad never probed deeper, aligning with his low expectations. This anonymity let me monitor Baxter Studios from afar. For the past year, I'd strategically acquired stakes in their key suppliers, post-production houses, and equipment vendors. I pored over Baxter's financials, identifying outdated workflows and declining deals. Apex emerged as the perfect fit to absorb and upgrade them. The twist came during due diligence. Auditing public records and partner reports revealed irregularities in Baxter's budgets. Funds vanished through phantom invoices for consulting services. Tracing IP logs and transactions pointed to Carla's office computer. Further digging showed my cousin, Lyle Baxter, 35, as her accomplice. He'd joined the studio as a mid-level manager, handling vendor contracts. Together, they'd siphoned $300,000 over 3 years, fake bills routed to offshore accounts. Lyle, with his smooth talk and family ties, covered the tracks. Carla signed off, using the cash for lavish trips and personal investments. It explained her flashy lifestyle beyond her salary. This wasn't just incompetence, it was fraud that could tank the studio if exposed. I gathered evidence quietly, bank statements, email trails, all obtained legally through industry networks. Criminal charges were an option, but I held back for leverage. Instead, it fueled my plan. 6 months back, Apex's CFO forwarded an anonymous acquisition proposal to Baxter Studios, a partnership to retain their name while injecting tech and capital. Dad dismissed it as too aggressive, without review. Now, with the evidence in hand, I refined the buyout terms. Apex would take full control, valuing Baxter at $50 million, generous given their market slide. My assistant confirmed the jet for the trip back to Los Angeles. Before leaving, my best friend Denise called from our old shared apartment days. "You're really facing them after all this?" she asked. "With the proof you have, it's risky." I spun my chair toward the city view. "It's necessary. I need to witness their reaction." She paused. "Remember last visit your mother promoted Carla again while ignoring your festival win?" The sting lingered, but I replied, "This time, it's on my terms." I packed strategically designer suits, subtle luxury items like a Hermès bag and Cartier watch to hint at success without overt flash. The flight gave time to review contracts, ensuring airtight clauses, landing in LA. A waiting car took me through familiar streets to the family estate. The setup positioned me perfectly for what followed. That confrontation hit during the family dinner at the estate. Mom opened the door, her gaze sharpening on my composed stance. "Shannon, you're here," she said, hug brief and perfunctory. "Changed, found success yet?" "Good to see you, Mom," I answered. Moving into the foyer adorned with classic film stills, Dad appeared from his office. Hug mechanical. "New York treat you well?" he inquired. "Well enough," I said, omitting the luxury flight. His device chimed. He pivoted for crucial matters. I caught sight of Apex files on his desk. Adrenaline surged, but I masked it. In my preserved bedroom upstairs, with forgotten trophies and faded posters. I steadied myself. Downstairs, Carla reclined with a glass, eyes mocking. "Wanderer returns," she quipped. "Still hustling scraps out there." Persisting, I shot back coolly. Travis stormed in recording. "Epic reunion," he declared. "Pecs superficial. Fancy threads. Sis. Landed a backer." "Earned it." I evaded, shifting from his lens, as his girlfriend arrived, poised in upscale attire. Carla drew her in. Shannon here tinkers with films eastward. The belittlement burned. Dad's tone resounded. 50 million locked seals tomorrow. I retreated to the kitchen. Maria diced ingredients. You radiate power, she noted kindly. Evenings charged. Indeed, I agreed. Cocktail time lingered. Mom feigned cheer. Dad monitored screens. Carla touted alliances. Travis captured clips. Mom directed us to dine the table polished beneath illumination, blooms from premier arrangers. I landed remote from Dad's command position. Carla claimed his flank with companion. Travis adjacent, Mom across. Me adjacent, sidelined routinely. Dishes flowed starters, proteins, compliments. Dad proposed cheers to heritage. Focus on Carla. Travis cited metrics. Carla cited influencers. Sweets presented velvet pastries. Mom struck her vessel. Update, she proclaimed, elevating dominantly. Baxter Studios shifts we divest. Carla gagged. Unthinkable. Concluded talks. Mom quelled. Solid acquirer concludes soon. Travis, my platform. Revenues not bequeathed. Mom proceeded. Pension share, balanced cinema grants. Fury ignited. Carla struck surface. Entitlement hours. Travis lamented. Broadcasting unfolding turmoil. I persisted unruffled. Savoring bite. Mom observed. Shannon unfazed. Focus converged. Buyer identity. I queried firmly. Apex Productions 50 million equitable. Mom vaunted. I breathed. Then, Mom. Apex is mine. Hush enveloped. Timepiece echoed. Dad perplexed. Carla overturned vessel. Stain expanding. Travis murmured to device. She controls it. Mom clutched container. I elevated. Credential extended. S. Blake myself. Established Apex post your rebuff. Dad scrutinized credential. Preposterous Apex helmed by expert, not you. Apex grips your providers. I enumerated. Carla charged sabotage. Open records. To Mom. Operation faltering archaic systems. Share drop 20%. She contested. I interposed. Anonymous bid dismissed recently. Carla bellowed. Demolishing heritage. Legitimate acquisition above worth. Travis, overseer now. Reform absolute. Dad ascended. Terminate. Executed. Panel sanctioned. Concluded. Mom garbled. Kin or intrigue. Duel you oblivious. Carla wept. Roles. Merit-based. Turmoil climaxed as they descended. Imploring. Disclosures persisted. The chaos from dinner spilled into individual clashes that night. First came Carla, barging into my room with Lyle trailing behind, his face pale under the hallway light. She slammed the door, eyes blazing. You think you're clever, hiding behind a fake name all these years. I leaned against the desk, arms crossed. About as clever as you two siphoning funds. Carla froze. Lyle stuttered. What are you talking about? $300,000 through fake vendors, I said flatly. Transaction logs from your computers. Offshore transfers. I've got it all. Carla lunged forward. Lies. You'd destroy your own sister. Not destroy, expose a thief and her accomplice, I corrected. Lyle sweated. We can explain personal loans. Save it for court, I replied. Embezzlement charges wait if you push. They exchanged glances, Carla's defiance cracking. Please, Shannon family, she begged. No deal, I said. Resign or face consequences. Lyle pleaded. Think of the scandal. I have. I shot back. They left defeated. Whispers echoing down the hall. Next. Travis knocked, entering with his phone down for once, expression desperate. Sis, that was intense, he said, sitting on the bed uninvited. You're a secret mogul, that's cool. I raised an eyebrow. Cool after years of dismissal. He shrugged. Adaptable, that's my brand. Imagine the collabs me as Apex ambassador. promoting your films to my followers. You mean leeching off my success like you did Baxter's? I asked. God. No real value. My content draws eyes. Value? I scoffed. You've built nothing but selfies with our name. He leaned in. Please give me a shot. No, I said firmly. Earn it elsewhere. He stood, hurt flashing. You'll regret this. Doubt it. I replied as he exited. Mom appeared last, knocking softly, entering in a robe, looking smaller without her usual poise. Can't sleep after that, she said, sitting on the window seat. All these years, Shannon, you hid this empire while we thought you struggled. You never asked, I said, facing her. None of you cared. Tears formed in her eyes. I saw your potential as a child, your mind for stories. Creativity we lacked. Then why side with Carla always? I demanded, old pain rising. I failed you, she admitted. Kept peace. Supported Dad but hurt my daughter. The confession hit. But I held firm. Too late. She reached out. Forgive us, stay. Rebuild together. No, I said. I'm done. Dad joined then, door creaking. We need to talk, he said. Voice low. Lawyers confirm the sale's binding. I nodded. As planned. He paced. How from nothing no connections? Motivation, I replied. Proving you wrong. He stopped. I protected you from failure. Controlled me, I countered. Wrong about everything me, the industry. Carla as successor. At Carla's name, his expression darkened. She's flawed but loyal. Loyal, she's embezzling with Lyle, I revealed. Evidence ready. He sank into a chair. Can't be. 300,000 irrefutable. He buried his face briefly, so everything crumbles. You're doing, I said. They begged together. Reconsider family first. I choose freedom. I refused. Leave now. They exited. Please, fading. I packed that night, leaving the house forever. The decision to cut ties crystallized that night as I left the estate behind, several months later. The fallout unfolded in ways that confirmed my choice. Apex Productions absorbed Baxter Studios seamlessly, rebranding it as a subsidiary focused on modern indie projects. I oversaw the transition from New York, installing a new team in Los Angeles to handle operations. Carla and Lyle faced the full weight of their actions. I filed a civil suit for embezzlement under California law, presenting the evidence to authorities. The case moved quickly. Depositions revealed their scheme of fake invoices and diverted funds. Carla lost her position immediately, the board voting her out to avoid further liability. Lyle resigned under pressure, his role exposed as a cover for the fraud. The court ruled in my favor, ordering restitution of the $300,000 plus damages, unable to pay. Carla declared personal bankruptcy a common outcome in U.S. fraud cases where assets get liquidated. Her lavish lifestyle collapsed. The house she bought with siphoned money went into foreclosure. Lyle fared similarly, his career in film tarnished by the scandal, leading to blacklisting in Hollywood circles. No criminal charges stuck since they repaid partially through settlements, but the civil penalties left them financially ruined, realistic under laws like the California Penal Code for theft by false pretenses. Travis suffered indirectly. The acquisition news broke with hints of internal misconduct, amplified by his own live stream from dinner. Followers deserted him, viewing the family drama as toxic. His influencer deals dried up, brands distanced themselves from the controversy. He tried rebranding as an independent critic, but without the Baxter name. His audience dwindled to a fraction. Desperate texts came, "Help me out. Sis," a reference. I ignored them, letting him face the consequences of coasting. Mom and Dad's world shrank, with the sale proceeds tied up in legal fees and the charity fund they couldn't access. Their retirement plans faltered. Dad took a nominal advisory role at first, but clashed with the new management and quit within weeks. Mom's social circle whispered about the family fall invites to galas stopped. They downsized from the estate to a modest condo. Dad picking up consulting gigs to make ends meet. Calls pleading reconciliation arrived. We're family, forgive. I declined. Blocking numbers. In New York. Apex thrived without the baggage. We launched hit series. Partnering with streaming giants. Valuation climbing to $200 million. My team, loyal experts who believed in merit, celebrated milestones free from favoritism. Denise and I toasted over coffee. You did it on your terms. The journey taught harsh truths. Success isn't revenge, it's liberation from those who diminish you. In America's film industry, resilience means building alone when family fails. Toxic ties drain, cutting them frees energy for real growth. For anyone facing similar dynamics, know this: proving worth to doubters matters less than claiming your path. Freedom from their shadows brings true value.